about the hospital bed. And let's see, I'm trying to see if you can see on this. I don't see where you attach the squat bar on the, oh yeah, I do see it. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor on the right-hand side. It's going around and around and around on that third part here. There's like right here, my cursor is pointing. That's where the squat bar attaches. So if you think you might want a squat bar right when you get to that room, that should be one of the first things you guys ask for. All right. Now in your room is an infusion pump. If you have any kind of medication, it's going to be, you'll get it through your IV, and your IV will be attached to the infusion pump. It might be an epidural, it might be Pitocin, but it's going to be basically pumped into your body through this infusion pump. So you'll see that, and you'll know exactly what that is. You're also going to have an external fetal monitor. Now, if you have no medication, that means your labor's not started artificially, you don't have Pitocin to speed up your labor, you don't have an epidural, you're going fully unmedicated, you will have what's called intermittent external fetal monitoring. So you see this mom here on the top photograph. She's sitting on the edge of the bed, and she has two monitors. One is measuring her baby's heart rate, and the other one is measuring her contractions. And she can be upright. She's also got a blood pressure cuff on. And so in the bottom left, this is what it looks like. So it's measuring the baby's heart rate, mom's contractions, and blood pressure. And it's spitting out on a piece of graph paper, basically. It's spitting out, and it's a paper record for the hospital. And then also your nurses don't even have to be in the room necessarily. They've got monitors at the nurses' station, so they can keep an eye on how you and your baby are doing that way. This mom in the bottom right looks like she's in bed. She's probably got an epidural, and so she's going to have what's called continuous external fetal monitoring. So anytime you have any kind of medication, there are risks to the baby, and so they want a good close look at how your baby is coping with any medications that you might be receiving during labor. So that's what the external fetal monitors look like. Now, hopefully, when the baby's born, you'll be able to have your baby skin to skin with you, which we know is the best place for your baby, because your baby can regulate their body temperature, their pulse, even their blood sugar if they're skin to skin with you after birth. But sometimes the doctor needs a closer look at your baby. And so the baby will be taken over to the radiant warmer and examined, and if anything else needs to be done, they'll let you know. And then, so that's what that radiant warmer is for. If the baby needs, the doctors need a much closer look at the baby, and the baby needs to be monitored more closely after birth. And there's one of those in every room. Now, some people may have a planned cesarean. Some may have an unplanned cesarean, but what I like about this this slide is that a lot of people say, well, I had an emergency cesarean, but the thing is, chances are pretty good it was really an unplanned cesarean, because only 1% of all cesareans are true emergencies. So let's say you have a planned cesarean. What's going to happen? You'll have an appointment, you'll have a set time. They want you to come to the hospital. You'll arrive with your partner. You'll be taken to either a triage room or a labor and delivery room. You'll be given a hospital gown. Your partner will be given scrubs. You'll both change into hospital gown or scrubs. And then mom, you'll be taken to the operating room. Your partner will be in his or her scrubs and be waiting out in the hallway until you are all ready for surgery. And then when you're all ready and the staff's all ready, the nurse will come out and escort your partner in to the OR, and you get to sit next to mom and be a good support for her. Sorry, take a sip of water here. And you get to see your baby born. Now, 59% of all cesareans are unplanned. And so you may have arrived, labored, maybe you even had an induction, and things just aren't going very well. They're not going for a variety of different reasons, and your doctor says, I think we'd be better off having a cesarean birth. And so in that case, chances are pretty good you're already in a labor and delivery bed. Maybe you have an epidural, maybe you have a spinal. You'll get your anesthesia in the OR if you don't already. And then same thing, your partner will be given scrubs, wait outside in the hallway until mom is all ready for her cesarean. And then you'll be escorted in, and same kind of a scenario. You get to sit next to mom and be that support that she needs while your baby is born with a surgical birth. Now, like I said, only 1% of all cesareans are true emergencies. And a true emergency happens very, very fast. For whatever reason, doctors decide this baby needs to come out. Mom is going to be whisked off to the OR very quickly. You will not have a partner with you. You will be put out with a general anesthetic, so you will be unconscious. You'll be asleep during the surgery. And then mom will go into the recovery room after the birth, and then depending on how the baby's doing, maybe the baby will have some extra attention. If the baby's doing really, really well, maybe the partner will they'll bring the baby to the partner, and the partner can welcome that baby earthside. So those are the three different scenarios of a cesarean, but it can be a wonderful, really joyful experience, and so that's kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. Now your baby has arrived, and now we go into postpartum. We know research says that having your baby rooming in with you is the best scenario, unless there's certain situations where that's not good. But during your hospital stay, we like to encourage rooming in, having that baby close to you. After birth, whether it's a vaginal birth or a cesarean birth, we'll try to get that baby skin to skin with mom right after birth. You may need help from your postpartum nurses, and that's one of the things that they're there for. But your postpartum nurse is taking care of you and possibly 3 other couplets. A couplet is a mom and a baby, whereas your labor and delivery nurse is taking care of you and 1 other mom in labor. And we'll do everything we can to encourage you to have your baby skin to skin as much as possible. They're going to help you with different care tips for both mom and baby, recovering from a vaginal birth or a cesarean birth. You're going to get lots of help. And then you're going to see a lactation consultant at least 2 times while you're in the hospital. If you have a Vaginal birth, you're going to be in the hospital for about 48 hours, approximately 48 hours after the birth. If you have a surgical birth, a cesarean, you're going to be in the hospital about 72 hours, maybe longer. Um, and um, and during that time, lactation consultants will come in, help you with whatever you need help with, help you getting the baby latched on, giving any tips, any helpful information that can help make things go better. Now, um, all of the neonatal intensive care units at the Scripps Hospital are staffed and run by Rady Children's Hospital. So you've got some really good people taking care of your baby for if you and your baby are separated after birth, and the baby has to go into the neonatal intensive care unit, then your baby's going to be very well taken care of. Um, and then if your baby has to have any kind of medications afterwards, or they're also going to give some vaccinations after birth, like the hepatitis B vaccine. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember all the vaccines right afterwards, but they'll be given vaccinations before you go home. They're also going to do a lot of different newborn tests. There's actually a really good video online. It's from the state of California. It has, I think if you do a search for newborn screening tests, California newborn screening tests, it's actually a really good video, and it explains there's all kinds of genetic testing, metabolic testing, things like that your care providers are going to do before you go home. And then once your baby has arrived, the staff will notify the pediatrician's office that your baby is here. And like I said before, if you either hadn't chosen a pediatrician, or your pediatrician isn't a Scripps pediatrician, doesn't have Scripps hospital privileges, um, or your pediatrician isn't on call the day that you give birth, your baby will be assigned a pediatrician during the hospital stay. So, but the staff will get all the paperwork started for your baby to have a social security number, and get the whole birth certificate started. And there's, again, more information on the one handout, Having a Baby at Scripps, Frequently Asked Questions. So lactation services, like I said before, you're going to have in-hospital support. You're going to be visited at least twice by a lactation consultant. Also, your postpartum nurses are knowledgeable about getting the baby latched on. So you're going to have a lot of help. You don't have to figure it out by yourself. And don't even try and figure it out by yourself. You'll just make yourself crazy. You're going to be tired too, and you're going to have all these different people telling you this, that, and the other, and you'll be like, how am I supposed to remember all this stuff? Well, you don't have to remember everything, and that's what we are here for you, for lactation support. So in hospital, and thank goodness, just about a month ago, we just began again the in-person breastfeeding support groups. There are 4 in-person breastfeeding support groups throughout the county, in Chula Vista, in San Diego, in the UTC area, and in Encinitas right now. And if you will probably get that handout when you leave the hospital, but you can also just do a search, an internet search, Scripps breastfeeding support groups, and it pops right up. It's got all the days, the times, the addresses, exactly where the support group meets. And I encourage all of you to take advantage of that free support group. It's so great because at the breastfeeding support groups, you'll have a lactation consultant and a lactation counselor. And It's also really nice. It's so nice to sit around in a room with a bunch of other moms who are breastfeeding. And it, you can help each other, learn from each other. It's just such a great service that is provided. And it's not just Scripps that provides that. All the hospitals provide it. There's all kinds of even independent practitioners um, all over the county that do provide breastfeeding support groups. So look into it. It's so worth, even if nothing's going wrong. It's such a great thing. It helps you get out of the house. It's not easy to get out of the house with an infant. We also have through Scripps outpatient lactation consultations. So a lot of times moms just need a little extra hands-on help. All you have to do is ask your OB, I need to see a lactation consultant, and they will put a referral through, and then you can call us at the Mother's Boutique and make an appointment. And also at the Mother's Boutique is where we rent hospital grade breast pumps, we rent scales, we have all kinds of breastfeeding supplies, and also help over the phone. That's, you know what, that is my favorite thing to do. A mom calls a Mother's Boutique, is having different challenges with breastfeeding, and sometimes it's an easy fix, but you don't know that easy fix. And that's what we're there for. So I love it. I just love that part of my job. It's so much fun to do. So, and those are the phone numbers. And you'll also, those are in your handout too, that you can call and get some help. Does anybody have a question? I'm going to come off of my, oops, I'm going to come off of my PowerPoint here. Put that away there. Hang on a second. And come back to my meeting. Here we go. Let's see. We've got, did anybody, let's see. That was a while ago, 6:44. So does anybody have any questions? Ask away. Oh, here we go. Yes, you should call. It's moving. All right, hang on a second. Just saw, wait a second. This thing keeps moving. Let's see. Let's see. Kelsey, Travis, my doctor's office faxed it over. I don't know what that is, what you're asking. Let's see. Troy Johnson. So should we call before arriving? Yes. In your handout is a number for the labor and delivery for all the hospitals and your OB's office. You want to call labor and delivery and say, I'm coming. And call your OB's office, say, I'm in labor. Veronica, I never received the handout. Where could I get it? So you're going to, I'll type it in here. It's send an email. Oops. Gosh. So first, Kelsey, no, wait, Veronica. I would look in your spam folder just in case. And then if you don't find it there, send an email to communityhealth@scripshealth.org, which I just typed in here in the chat box, and say I didn't get any of my handouts. And then Kelsey, if the doctor's office faxed over the form, insurance card and ID, is that adequate? Did you fill, if you completely filled out the form, I think it is adequate. Who's your doctor, Kelsey? Oops. Oh my gosh, this thing's like jumping all over the place. Hang on a second. Whoa. Kelsey? Are you still there? It says Kelsey Travis. Are you still? Okay. Who's your doctor?
Dr. Simpson.
Okay. It's probably adequate, but I would ask the doctor's office.
They were the ones that faxed it over. They said that they did
Okay.
it last
Yeah.
week. So I just still, it seemed.
That's the thing is some doctor's offices do it and some don't. Most don't.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I think you might want to just call Labor and Delivery and say, "Do you have my form?"
Okay, I'll check with
Just
them.
to double check. And then Laurel, is a marriage certificate one of the documents? Absolutely not. You don't have to be married to have a baby. Sorry, that was not that funny. But anyway, nope, you don't need a marriage certificate. Let's see.
I'm the one who asked about the marriage certificate. I wanted specifically for the birth certificate. I've heard that sometimes you need a marriage certificate in order to add the father on the birth certificate. Is that required?
Not that I know of. I've never heard that before. Who told you that?
I thought I had seen it on some birth testing that I've been not necessarily through Scripps, but on something that I had been reading that they said that that's advisable to make sure that they're
I've never heard that before.
it's not there that day.
I mean, if you want to, but I've never heard that before, so
Okay, that's great news then. Thank you.
yeah. And then Jasmine, should I bring my nursing pillow with me? There will not be nursing pillows at the hospital because those can't really be sanitized. So if you want to bring your pillow, yes, bring your breast. Is it a breast friend? Go ahead and bring it. Definitely. Let's see. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, it just keeps jumping all over the place. Should I bring my scripts? I do have the handouts except the YouTube video. So there should be, Griselda, in the handouts is a link to the videos, to the YouTube videos. You could also just go to YouTube and let's say if you're giving birth at Scripps La Jolla Hospital orientation. But it should be in the handouts. Let's see, Laurel, what kinds of supplies does the hospital provide for postpartum care? Well, you're going to get a peri bottle in the hospital. You're going to get ice packs. You're not going to get padsicles. Those you have to make yourself. Lanolin, I don't know, maybe. I mean, lanolin, you probably won't even need lanolin. Lanolin is just really to soothe the skin. It doesn't really help if you're having nipple discomfort, it doesn't really help it heal. There's lots of other things that can help it heal, like hydrogel pads, things like that. But really, just ice, Tux pads, the pads that you wear in those sexy little net underpants, and it's pretty just the basics, the minimum. You're not going to get anything fancy. So if you want padsicles, you can get those. You have to make those at home, or get what is it? The Frida Mom. They make them, but they're expensive. Let's see, Griselda. I would work on the application and classes to continue. Yes. Micaiah, how far out should I send my pre-registration form before giving birth? You know what? I would definitely do it well before 37 weeks. I mean, it's never really too early. I think it's nice to be prepared to have it there. But yeah, 37 weeks is early, full term, and hopefully you have taken all of your classes before 37 weeks. Let's see, Troy, should my wife bring my own? No breast pump necessary. There's a hospital grade breast pump, a Medilla Symphony in every single room. So you don't need to bring your breast pump, Griselda. So if South Bay, then what is the name of the YouTube video? So it would be Scripps, Mercy, Chula Vista. But it should be on your handout too. Let's see. Anybody else have another question? You sure? Oh, there you go. Oh, you're welcome, Laura. Thank you. Anybody else? Questions? All right. Let's see. When should I ask for a maternity leave? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think you should talk to Human Resources about that. That's not something we deal with at the hospital. Let's see. Yeah, I can't really answer that question for you, Griselda. Anybody else have a question? Thank you, Carolyn and Reed. Thank you, Troy. You do see the handouts. Oh, good. Good. You're welcome, you guys. Thank you so much. Good luck. I hope you all have a magical birth experience and a magical breastfeeding experience, too. It can be hard, but I tell you what, don't hesitate to ask for help. Ask and ask and ask again, and we would love to help you. So that's it. All right, you guys, you're done. That was pretty painless, hopefully. All right, you guys, have a great night.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, here we go.